I don't think people realise how when you get to 65, if you've not looked after yourself financially, you're going to be in trouble. Physically, you're in trouble. Mentally in trouble, and also with your family. Because there's a lot of men now who are 65 and have got no one around them.
Do you think you're staying until 65?
I don't intend to be here in the next year.
There you go.
I don't intend to be in this country. This country is rubbish. No. People are just pretending. No. You're working literally to pay your bills. And it wasn't like that years ago. So when people say, oh, but you're meant to work. Yes, you're meant to work. But when I was looking at some stats, in the 1980s, the average home was 200 and... let me find it now. So I'm not misquoting. 1 second, let me find this.
Bro, at 2 a.m. and 5:30 a.m, me and my brethren who runs the brand, Chose a Few, we're talking about the escape out of here.
Yeah?
Yeah, bro.
You was meant to be gone already.
Okay, I've got
Yeah.
So
it's been playing on my mind a bit more lately.
In 1985, the average house price in the UK was £29,000. The average salary was £14,000. Look at this. The average salary was £14,000 in 1985, and the average home was 29 grand. That was just double. The average salary now in the UK is what?
You and your woman could pay that in 4 years.
The average salary now in the UK is roughly about 30 odd K. The average property price in the UK now is 240 something for a house. It's 10 times nearly. It wasn't like that. Is it? Imagine now. So what we're meant to be on right now technically is, if the average is 240, if we was to keep with the level or the ratio back then, we should be on about 100k.
Yeah.
If the average was 100k, who would be stressed right now?
No
No one.
one. We should on 140k.
We're finished.
Yeah, we're finished.
This country, we're working just to pay bills.
Bro, one of the men tweeted yesterday.
Rubbish.
Houses in Lekki and Banana Island.
Banana Island's a pause, by the way.
It's the area, bro.
Can't live on Banana. Would you live on Banana Island?
Yes. That's not a pause, man.
The houses there, I think the rent is 3 million naira a year. Because the economy is so battered now, yeah. That's about 3,000, maybe about 3,300.
Okay.
So
It's ridiculous.
3,300.
I this country here.
I said to him, I said, if man has a certain amount of money, man could just go there and just hit the landlord and say, right, listen, this is 10 years rent. Before things go up,
I'm done.
You just slam 10 years rent in Nigeria and you're living in a mansion.
I'm done.
You get me? Mansion. What man's paying for rent here for 1 bedroom? You're getting a...
I'm officially done.
So this country's bad to live in if let's say you don't have money, right?
Well, yeah.
But I was gonna say to you, like, what would you say is good if you have money? Like, where would you say like the top places to live if you do have money?
Okay, so I haven't done enough research to be able to give that. All I can go by is what I've seen in England, and then the small I've seen in Atlanta when I went, and Ghana when I've been. But only the small. I can't talk for the whole of it.
Of course.
But looking at London, and I always make a point that I live in Zone 5. I live in Croydon. I've got a 2-bed flat that I'm paying $13.50 for. When I start calculating all of my extra expenses, okay, so, and I always like to do the math, so $13.50, you add another £100 for council tax, that's $14.50. Add another sort of $2.50 free bills for your electric, water, and all of that, and gas. That's now $14.50, let's call it $16.50, yeah? Talk about food, let's call it what, £200 a month? That's $18.50. Let's talk about transport, £50 a week, it's another 200. That's 2,050, yeah? Remember, I haven't bought any clothes. I haven't done anything yet. I'm on 2,050. What else may I have missed out? Let's say I've got a car. You know, the typical thing nowadays is to finance or lease. Let's say I've got a little Golf. That might cost me what? Maybe.
Yeah.
How much is that? How much was your Mercedes you had a month?
356.
Okay, so let's call it 250. Let's call it.
Well, now they've gone up.
Let's call it 2,450 now. That's for your lease for your car. Now you got to talk insurance. Call it another £100. I'm on 2,550.
Bills.
I haven't done anything fancy yet.
Yeah.
Now, what is that salary-wise after tax? That's like a 40k salary.
Yeah.
You're just paying your bills.
Yeah.
One could argue and say, okay, you don't need to be in a 2-bed, you could be in a 1-bed. Even if it's a 1-bed, that would be about £1,200.
Yeah.
Because this is a one bed, right?
No, they're not gonna say that. Yeah, this is a one bed. They're gonna tell you go flat share.
Yeah. But I'm just saying,
upstairs flat share at the man them, so you might be paying like 8 bills.
But as a grown man of my age,
Yeah.
and once again, this is not. People peak at different points, but most, and not that we should care what women say, but most of the stuff us guys tend to do is scares around women. I don't believe any woman who meets a guy who's 38, 39, 40, and he says he lives at home with his mum or rents a room. Generally, he's going to be like, oh, okay, that's fine, that's okay. How can you be a grown man and you're working full time in a first world country, yet you can't afford to live by yourself? On 40k, on 40k for you to survive and have a car, one could argue you don't need to have a leased car, but let's just say it's nice to have one.
Yeah.
You need to be on £2,500. That's just to break even.
Yeah.
So now let's add the rest of the stuff. Maybe you want to go on a little holiday. You maybe want to go to a little club, a little bar. That's another maybe £5 a month. Then you've got to talk about savings. That's another £5. So you need to be on about 3.5k a month, which is about what? A 50 odd salary. Who's earning 50k? There are people earning 50k, don't get me wrong. But the average salary in the UK is not that.
What's 50 after tax?
50 after tax, I'll tell you now. Let me get my salary calculator. 1 second. You're looking at 50,000 divided by 12 is 4,000. So you're looking about minus 800. You're looking at about £3,300 after tax. But that, you might forget an NI, forget student loans, forget anything else. So you're looking at about 3,300. So even on 50k, it's not enough. So typically, if you want to be a comfortable man, even by yourself, and this is in zone 5, I would say you need to be on 60,000 divided by 12 is 5,000. Take away another 1,000. Yeah, that'll give you just under 4k. And then bear in mind, if you want to buy a property on that, remember typically it's 4.5. So 60 times 4.5, you can only buy a property that's 270 grand. You're not buying that in zone 5.
No.
You're not even buy. You can't even get that in Kent.
No,
like my mate's bought a property in
You might.
He bought a property in what area is it called? Gravesend.
Yeah.
The property was at 300 something grand.
Yeah.
Where are you going to find something for 270?
There's flats in that.
Yeah, but
It's not.
A one
Yeah.
bedroom in Addington.
the game is finished in this country.
Yeah.
And remember that 270. Remember, you've got to put a 10% deposit down typically. So that's going to be 27 grand. Now, if somebody's can only save £500 a month from their wage, let's do 27,000 divided by 500. It's going to take them 54 months, which is 5 years basically. It will take you 5 years to save that 27 grand.
You see, when you was in Atlanta, you seen the equivalent of what an area that's zone 5 in Atlanta will look like, and what you get for 270 in that area.
Yeah, it was rubbish.
What you get for 270 in that area, so £270 in dollars is what? That's 300 and something.
Yeah.
So so what you get in the equivalent of zone 5 over there, the house would be a madness. The house would be a madness.
I live in Croydon and I can't afford, like on a salary of 60k, if I earned that, I can't afford to even buy in Croydon. I can't afford to buy a house in Croydon.
So for the average person, what do they do?
Nothing. Okay, look at inflation rates have gone up now. Mortgages have gone up.
Yeah.
Like there's guys I know
Yeah.
who have got properties, bare properties. They're now trying to find 3.5 grand more every month just to cover their mortgages. This is real life. He's now trying to find 3.5 grand to cover his mortgages.